Hi, my name is Dr. Harlan Mittag. I'm a chiropractor and nutritionist, acupuncturist. I've been in practice for 24 years. In the last video segment, we talked about what is stress. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the symptoms of stress. Now, remember that stress is a form of alarm reaction in your body. It is intended to prepare your body to act in response to whatever threat you're stressed about. And remember also that we discussed how the stress response was meant to be a temporary event, that it drains your body of vital resources and your body needs time to recuperate after stress. And that the problem with stress today is that it's chronic. We're being bombarded by stress everywhere. So for instance, if I watch television and see news about the shoe bomber or the underwear bomber or H1N1, my body undergoes a stress response. And it's not as great as if I was at the event or in the plane with the underwear bomber, but it is a stressful event, and my body my body's resources are being sapped by that stress. So as the body's resources are drained, then we begin to experience the symptoms of stress. So some of the symptoms of stress would be things like muscle tension, that stress tightens our muscles, and eventually that might turn into, say, tension headaches. Or when we're under stress, we could get a nervous stomach, and if the stress continues, we might eventually suffer ulcers because of stress. Another very common symptom of stress is insomnia. Remember that the stress response, part of the stress response is designed to make us alert and to heighten our awareness so that we can respond appropriately to the stress at hand. Well, when these stress hormones are present 24/7, when we're suffering chronic stress, then at night when our body is trying to shut down and go to sleep, the presence of these stress hormones keeps us awake. And insomnia is particularly deleterious to us because in deep sleep, our body is intended to rejuvenate. During deep sleep, our body secretes a group of hormones, or a major hormone called growth hormone, that helps our body rejuvenate from the wear and tear of the previous day. And let me read to you just a brief quote here from William Dement, who is a prominent sleep researcher, and let's hear what he has to say on the benefit of deep sleep. We tend to think of healing as something that happens only when we are injured, when a cut or abrasion rends tissue and destroys cells. The truth is that cells in the body constantly are replenishing themselves, repairing not only cuts and bruises, but also wear and tear of daily living. Much of this repair is the job of growth hormone, which stimulates protein synthesis, helps break down fats that supply energy for tissue repair, and stimulates cell division to replace old and malfunctioning cells. The concentration of growth hormone released during the night's first period of stage 4 sleep suggests that deep sleep is important for this repair process, and that the disappearance of deep sleep may contribute to the physical decline that we experience in old age. So many people think of insomnia as lying awake all night, but insomnia technically is disruption of normal sleep patterns. So someone can be sleeping 8 hours a night, but if they're not getting deep sleep, if their sleep pattern is disrupted due to stress, then they're not getting the secretion of growth hormone that they need, and their body is not rejuvenating every night. So how do we experience that in day-to-day terms? You have a good sleep, you wake up, and you feel like It's a brand new world. You're glad to be alive. That's the rejuvenating power of deep sleep. The medical profession has not really keyed into the benefit of sleep, the necessity of sleep, until just recently. But let's hear again what William Dement has to say of the risk factor of insomnia and not getting deep sleep. He says, quote, "There is plenty of compelling evidence supporting the argument that sleep is the most important predictor of how long you will live, perhaps more important than whether you smoke, exercise, or have high blood pressure or cholesterol levels," unquote. So, we've discussed the fact that chronic stress robs our body of its resources, wears us down, that the symptoms of stress progress, so muscle tension can progress to headaches, tension headaches, nervous stomach can progress to ulcers, that insomnia is particularly problematic because it robs us of the ability to regenerate every night. There are many more symptoms of stress. I've focused on insomnia simply because it's so important in terms of combating the effects of stress. If you'd like to learn more about stress and about insomnia and remedies for stress, please check out my free ebook. It's called Wake Up Energized. You can get it at www.vitalisam.info. And if you'd like to see how many of the symptoms of stress that you're suffering, you can, in that book there is a self-test that you can rate yourself on different symptoms of stress and see where you stand in terms of your body's wear and tear from stress. Thank you, and have a stress-free day. In the next video, we will look at some herbs that are very, very helpful in combating stress, a group of herbs called adaptogens. So I hope you'll check me out for that video as well. Thanks.